We got a proc. I'm gonna use the double tap for that. Ah! Hit him with that. It's all about kill shot and aim shot right now. Use a rapid fire because I don't have that much focus. Holy crap, man. That feels so good. Welcome, everyone. All right, so here we have my marksmanship hunter, and we're going to be taking a look at making builds that include Windrunner's guidance. Okay, we're going to be talking about single target builds and how the builds can differ depending on what you're doing. The understanding that you're able to specialize in a specific content is just very intriguing. Whether or not it does the most damage, that's something for the Sims and all that stuff. This is just about play style and rotation and where it would work in. Overall, it's just how to make one, how to build it. What are the mandatory talents? What are the talents that you can choose to, maybe I don't want to play with this talent and choose a different one, depending on the content you're going with. All right, so with that out the way, that was a mouthful. We're gonna take our points away so we can build a tree. Okay, so the beauty about right now in Dragonflight is Blizzard give you a default spec. All right, so off the bat, every time you level up, you gain a point. You can say, yo starter build, hook me up, and just get a nice base build. All right, and this way you don't have to worry too much about, oh, what do I need, or this and that. You just play the game, get familiar with the buttons, get familiar with what you're doing, etc., etc. So this is what the starter build looks like for marksmanship hunters. But we're gonna be going into, let's go to legacy test, and we're gonna create our own. Okay. But overall, what you really want to do is maximize your throughput options with the encounter in mind, and then with any talents you have before the tier is done, you'll have like maybe 3, 5, depending on what you're picking. But those you can specialize, those extra talents, and I'll show you now. So let's go with the marksmanship side because it's just more straightforward and easier to show. So here we have aim shot. Obviously, we're gonna take that. We're gonna take precise shots off the bat. It's just a no-brainer. 75% damage on your next 1 or 2 arcane shots after an aim shot. Obviously, we want to get focused, so these are mandatory. All this up here, mandatory. Can you play builds without it? Yes. Is it useful? No. If you use an aim shot and arcane shot without crack shot, dude, you literally have no focus. And you're gonna be steady shotting and steady shotting and steady shotting and steady shotting. And you don't want that. You want to facilitate and make your rotation feel as smooth and efficient as possible. Now here is when the beauty starts. All right, so these are mandatory in mostly anything that you're doing, and we get to choose if we're doing PvE or PvP, whether you're going to use the fundamental is, am I going to use a pet? For the most part, no, in PvE, because you can't run it without it. Okay, so what is next? Aim shot and rapid fire, your most 2 top dealing abilities. You get a passive 10% crit on them. Let's go, boom. That's almost mandatory because you can also invest these points somewhere else. This is not a mandatory talent. But let's continue. Careful aim. That's 2 points. These are technically not mandatory, but the damage that it provides, both single target and AoE, is just massive. Here's an interesting one. This is the first true optional talent, right here, other than Lone Wolf, okay? But this is like the first true one. Do I need to go through this? Let's see what other things we have, because this is what we're gonna be thinking about. We have 10% increased damage on our top dealing abilities on top of the crit. Where's that crit? Right here. Boom, no brainer. This doubles my aim shot. So I cast aim shot with a double tap, boom. It shoots another aim shot right after. No brainer. Aim shot is my number one top damage ability as a Marksmanship Hunter. So here comes the interesting part. In order to get to Windrunner's Guidance, I have to talent into Serpent Stalker's Trickery. Now, this may be a talent which a lot may not agree with because it makes it mandatory, and it's like, why am I gonna choose that? I don't need it, whatever. But it does provide overall damage. It allows your aim shot to be more versatile, where if you do switch target and that target has higher health, you gain benefit from careful aim, plus you're just shooting out a Serpent Sting without using your actual Serpent Sting global cooldown. All right, I mean, it is what it is. It's there. It's part of the playstyle. If you're playing Windrunner's Guidance, you will be playing Serpent Stalker's Trickery. Okay, so this is where the true beauty starts. You have 6 points. Here it shows it. You spend 6 points to unlock this role. This is where you have to design your tree to what you like. Okay, depending on it, whatever it is that you're doing. But this video is specifically for Windrunner's Guidance. Now, Windrunner's Guidance is more towards casting as much aim shots as possible. So your aim shots become of the most highest priority by far, because your aim shot procs so many different things. Extra damage on your arcanes, your Windrunner, your little wind arrows, they do substantial damage, and they get benefit from your careful aim. Anything that increases careful aim and rapid fire increases your wind arrows. So keep that in mind. You just want to continue, and your wind arrows have the chance to proc a true shot, which it makes the playstyle interesting. Okay, so let's continue to build, and we'll show the rotation later. Now, this is a talent that I consider mandatory. All right, and Blizzard, I think themselves said, hey, rapid fire is a talent that you're going to be choosing. With that in mind, I mean, is 1 point. It gives you 40,000 damage, right? What's your aim? Your aim shot is 42,000. So it's right up there. And if you add these abilities on that shit, well, I'll have to apply changes, but you have the potential of increasing that damage, doing synergy with your surging shots if you play with that, or with your arcane shots, with lethal shots. We'll see how the Sims play both talents, but it makes your rotation super nice when playing with your Windrunner's Guidance, because without rapid fire, you miss out on that 41k, some dead space in between your rotation because it's a casted spell. You miss out on the extra focus that you gain from it. It's just such a good ability. The reason I'm saying that, the reason there's some turmoil or whatever it may have you, is because you can opt out of it. You can play builds without it, but those builds don't feel right. They don't feel good. They're very monotone, and the generation doesn't feel as good, especially if you play with Streamline, that causes your aim shots to come out faster. It also plays out in how much aim shots in the long run, how much aim shots you're able to bring out, and etc., etc. So we go down rapid fire, and here we choose, do we want to, because with you go, this is another one, right? If you go for Windrunner's Guidance, you have to choose whether you want to go a rapid fire build or a bleed build, an AoE build, all right, or cleave damage. Or what's interesting about a Dragonflight Marksmanship Hunter is that you can go on a execute build, which is super intriguing. All right, it's very actually we'll go down that path first because it's not something that we're used to seeing. So because it's an execute phase Marksmanship Hunter build, right? That includes Windrunner's Guidance. This is not about this is the top damage. This is just a build that you can make, all right? That emphasizes execute damage. You're gonna go with Deathblow because you want your kill shots to proc more, and you want Razor Fragments, okay? That allows you to increase the damage of your kill shot plus give a bleed. So we'll keep that in mind. And here we choose, well, we are going to play trushot, so we'll put 2 points in here and see with any remaining points, because steady focus is mandatory. That's another time that is a mandatory ability or synergy. If you want trushot and you're not going for deep AoE, you're not choosing volley, you will have to go to trushot. So we pick it. We'll continue. Oh, before we go there, we just unlocked this. So let's just fill out what we need to fill out. Okay, so this is the second check mark where you ask yourself what it is that you need. All right, so we want more aim shots. Okay, so trushot does that. Lock and load, it gives me an insta cast aim shot, no brainer. But I also want execute damage, so that includes Razor Fragments for the extra damage and the bleed. Deadeye gives you 2 charges of kill shot. Remember, this is about execute. If you get a boss that has sub 35% and he's there for a nice long time, and it's mostly single target, you never know. This might be pretty nice build. But here we choose what do we want. I do believe that here at this point, that target practice is valuable, but or streamline is also valuable because that 15% is pretty nice. But we'll go with target practice. Now, because this is a single target execute type build, we want to emphasize our hunter class tree with single target abilities, things that facilitate movement or defense, depending on what it is that you need more in the encounter or whatever it is that you're doing. So obviously we're not going to be using a pet. Do we need concussive shot? Maybe not. Let's go post haste. Let's get counter. Natural mending, 2 points on that, because we still need to dump points. Do I need tar trap? Maybe, maybe not. Let's go with a defensive. Let's go with misdirection. Let's do a PvE single target build. We need 1 more point. Kill shot. Boom. So there's synergy all over the place. Do we need our traps? I mean, this is PvE. We might be able to be using it. Why not use some extra reduction on abilities and help the group out with some leech? Okay, am I gonna use traps? Who knows? But this is where it becomes interesting, because here's where you get to detail what you need more, like whether your raid leader asks you to, or you decide that this is more beneficial for your group in this particular encounter. It's very important because these talents, they matter. They matter. Do you need an extra bit of survivability with damage reduction? Do I need to use my tar traps more? Are there ads that are coming out and that tar trap really helps out because it's not all about damage at all times. There's rolls. Do I need this tar trap? Let's go with extra access to my defensive. We're not going to use camouflage while being in an entire encounter. And feign death is useful enough. Extra heals, why not? Let's go with binding shot. Hold on. Extra 2, we have 3 points to invest. Okay, so here, let's go with binding shot, because scatter shot and PvE kind of doesn't matter too much. Now, here's an interesting choice. Do I want this? Why not? It's 1 point. I don't really need a tar trap or whatever. I don't need camouflage. I don't need binding shackles. Right? I don't really need concussive. I don't need kill command. So, 1 point there. And because I have 1 more point to choose, I can choose whatever I want. Tar trap. Boom. And it gives me access to other stuff. Entrapment is serious. But let's continue with throw puts. Now that we gain access to the next tier, 15%, and you're always critting with all these crit enhancing talents and the playstyle that we have, you're just critting all the time. Let's increase more crit. Now here with these two activated, we are able to go into more throw put talents. And because this is a kill shot, bleeding, your tier set has a bleed effect to it. We use serenity shots. And we have Serpent Stalker's Trickery. Let's increase that damage. Them dots, they're doing damage. Okay? Arctic Bola. It is passive damage. A lot of people don't like it, but that's just, it comes out. I mean, what else? It's all about throughput at this point, right? Maximizing your throughput. Do you want to use the Death Chakram? Or do you want to use Stampede? Now, I guess it depends on the length of the time you have in the execute phase. But because you already, I don't know, it's interesting. I mean, it's just 2 minutes and it gives you extra crit, so it can be huge in just a super burst moment, right? Like say under a lust or something like that. It might be massive, or you can just get that 10% every 45 seconds. It all depends. Let's just for ease, I'm gonna go with Death Chakram. We have 4 more talents. Arctic Bola. This might be a single target increase. This also might be a single target increase, 30 seconds. This is 30 seconds as well. This one does 26,000 damage. This one does 23,000 damage. But because this is a bleed, we'll see how much serrated blades increases that. Or we can go through here. Or Low, what the hell you doing? Why are you picking Steel Trap? Hey, if you want to use Steel Trap to deal damage, that's on you. You don't have to. I mean, also you have to take into account how much is that talent worth when it's sim-wise. And because we're doing single target damage, let's go with this. Let's change it. Super single target. A little bit of defensive for me and for my group. Binding shot. It looks pretty nice. All I need is a target with low health. Here it is. Let's check it out. Start with Serpent Sting. I should have done an aim shot instead. But let's get the steady focus up there. Just doing stupid damage right now. Steady focus is out. I want to use that again. Like, this is serious right here. Crit! Yeah! That juicy. That kill shot be hitting juicy, bro. Screw that arcade shot. Jesus, that feels so good. What? Let's finish this rapid fire with the kill shot. Okay, we're getting nice, serious, sexy damage. Okay, we got a proc right there. Let's see if we can get a steady focus up there. We're gonna get one more aim shot in there. We could have done that a little better, but it's just so random. We got that proc in a time where it really wasn't to advantage to use it, but it is what it is. Them kill shots when I press them, man, I feel it in my body. Here we go, big move. And here we got our bullseye up there, 30%. We just always crit. Taking advantage of that careful aim. We got a proc. I'm gonna use double tap for that. Hit him with the. It's all about kill shot and aim shot right now. Use a rapid fire because I don't have that much focus. Holy crap, man, that feels so good. All right. So let's see how that worked out. That's what I'm telling you. I told you guys. It's all about aim shot and kill shot. Look at that. That's ridiculous. And because we're critting a lot, Master Marksman is doing crazy nice damage, man. That's super nice to see. It's super nice. This is an example of tailoring a build to what you're doing. Now, obviously, you can take all this out and do a different one. Let's do it right now. This is still single target. Let's see how it is with opening. Let's open single target with Stampede in their mouth. Let's go. This is gonna be nutty, dude. This is gonna be nutty. Now we're gonna get access to aim shot a lot, and true shot access is gonna be up there, okay? So I don't need to go on a target that has low health because it's not an execute build. This is a opening. I'm gonna do caca damage on you. So let's use up some focus. Let's get that rolling with an aim shot into a serpent sting. There it is. I could have used steady focus, but right now I don't care. I just want to pop that. Where are they going? Where are my animals going? The actual cooldown? Then I don't see why not. Say, yeah, you gotta aim this thing. That's the coolest thing. It's just new, you know? You have to aim where you shoot out your Stampede. It's a little skill base. Love it. And lastly, we can also go into a build that uses Wailing Arrow and Windrunner's barrager Readiness. Let's play with it. Doesn't matter. Let's just go with it right here. All right. Let's use this and then use Wailing Arrow to get our shit reset. I mean, in a single target situation, I don't think it's too interesting to have readiness. But I think Windrunner's barrage is more interesting in a single target. Plus, it kind of adds to cleave damage. All right, it's gonna come out now. And being that Windrunner's barrage gives you more arrows, it allows you a higher chance to gain. Oh, let's just get this. We have high focus. There we go. There we go. We got a prop right there. That's what I'm talking about. We don't have steady focus, but it's all right. I didn't get that last aim shot, but that feels much better than using readiness for single target, at least in my opinion. I guess they're very similar in damage, not too much of a difference, but I guess it also just really depends on what you're doing. We got a proc. That's super nice, man. That readiness coming through with them procs. That's the second time in a row I got a proc. Nice. All right, we got another one, but I don't want to cast it right now because I don't have a stack of aim shot. Here we go. Here you go. Yep. Damn, that's 3 for 3, baby. 3 for 3. Yeah. I fucks with that. I'm just gonna use it. That was nice and smooth. I enjoyed it. We looked at ways to make your build, how to solidify the build, how to choose the build under the right circumstance, right? We showed the damage, we showed the rotation, and all these builds were meant for single targets. So we're gonna be looking at a more AoE centric Windrunner's guidance build in the next video. All right, guys, so thank you so much for just hanging out and checking out the video. If you guys have any questions or comments of your own ideas or thoughts of what you think they should do, please leave it down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, peace, much love. I feel like